jiital ci nuyoo bi kilifa yi ñu fekk ci zawiya bi yaakaar naa bu ñu tuddee professeur Babacar Ñing mu yóbbaale ñëpp géew ci jigéen ñi bu ñu jiitalee soxna Saafura Taal di ko jox wàccuwaayam mu yóbbaale jigéen ñëpp géew au passage ñu nuyu soxna Moussi Jamil mi nga xamante ne moom moo initié bi à partir du Sénégal daal di ñu fàttali ne amuñu leneen lu dul suñuy doom suñu jarbaat suñu rakk yi ci dëkk bi war leen defal bés bu mel nii tey donc ñu ngi koy nuyu ak ñi mu nekkal waa Sénégal yëpp ak waa xadara bi duñu guddal dañuy dem directement rek ci waxtaan bi parce que initiative bi diine la woon waaye dañu ne nañu profité ci diine bi fexe ba mun a waxtaanee ay sujets yu am importance yoo xamante ne ëllëg seen avenir dina ci mën a am impact may laaj rek ndax ñi ci saal bi xale yi li may wax yéen a ngi koy understand. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? All of you. Come back. We're going to welcome on our panel 3 scholars. We're going to start with Miss Dieye, and then Mr. Professor Maimouna. Professor Maimouna, Sheikh Al-Maimoun. Right. Then we're going to start first with Miss Maimouna Dieye, who's a college and a career advisor at Manhattan Comprehensive School. She's part of a team that helps over 150 high school students every year with their CUNY, SUNY, and private schools application, along with financial aid and scholarships. She was born and raised in Dakar. She came into New York City in 2007 to join her parents and continue her education. She completed her high school in New York and then went to college at Mount Holyoke in Massachusetts. And she's passionate about working with people. She took a job with Tech for America as a geometry teacher in a high school in Philadelphia. She later on returned into New York City and started her current job. I'm gonna pass the floor to her and she's gonna start her presentation.
You got another mic there. You got another mic. Let them use that. That's more clear. Done.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So I was invited here to talk about college because I'm a college and career advisor, like he said, at a high school in New York. So college application is a process. I know my audience is a mix of young people and people who are already in college and those who are actually preparing to go to college. So if there are terms that you don't understand because of your level, you can ask me towards the end. Thank you. So like I said earlier, the college application is a process, and it's a lengthy process that does not start at your senior year, but it actually starts, I would say, your first year of high school. Because nowadays college is a lengthy process that requires you to have a strong portfolio. And in that portfolio, you need to have a strong resume, strong letters of recommendations, and to have a strong SAT or ACT score, and to have also a strong personal essay. So I'll go in details with what I just listed now. So building a strong resume requires you to join clubs. So a lot of schools offer after-school activities or clubs over the weekend that you can participate in. So if you don't know, or if you already are in high school, I will ask you to go and talk to your academic advisors or your guidance counselors or your teachers and ask them if there is any club in the school that you would like to join. And the other thing is about volunteering. So volunteering is any type of job that you do that you don't get paid. And I don't include things that you do at home, such as cleaning and cooking. But it's any job that you do to help your community. So if, let's say you come to a mosque and volunteer to cook, or volunteer to set up an event, or there are a lot of also community services things that you can do. So I would say start doing them ASAP, because especially in this country, so if you want to get a job, most people won't ask you what diploma you get. They will ask you for your resume, and your resume is your list of experiences. So start into the habit of building a strong resume as soon as possible. So, and the other thing is getting an internship. So some schools will offer internship for their students and other schools don't. But if you are in a school that do not have an internship program, I would say talk to your teachers or your guidance counselors. They might know someone, and that someone might know another person who has a company or a place and they're looking for an intern. And most of the time, for young people, internship, that you don't get paid because your payment is the skills that you're getting. But it's important because you will have it on your resume and it will help you with your college application process. And there is also, the other thing to build a resume is also to get a job. And I won't recommend you if you're in high school to get a job while you're working, because that can jeopardize your education. But you can get a job maybe during the summer. And there's a program called SYEP, Summer Youth Employment Program, which is a lottery-based program that helps young people to obtain jobs over the summer. And it's for everyone ages 14 to 21. I would ask you to go and talk to someone at your school to help you with that application. And the other thing for your portfolio is to maintain a good GPA. And maintaining a good GPA, there's no secret to that. You don't have to be smart in order to have a good GPA. It just requires a lot of work. So you need to study hard. Do not procrastinate on doing your homework. Make sure that you get help from your teachers. If you don't understand something in class, ask your teachers before or after school, or ask your classmates while you're in class. Nowadays they have a lot of after-school programs that you can join that can help you with your homework. And by doing that, you will see your grades improve. There's no matter of this person is smart, that's why she's getting these high grades, and I'm not smart. Studying, there's no smart or not smart. You just need to put your hard work and dedication into it. So the other thing is building a good relationship with your teachers. In order for you to go into a good college, you need a strong recommendation letters. And teachers are not obligated to write recommendation letters. So they write recommendation letters if they know you as a student and know how strong you are inside of the classroom. So I would advise you to start participating in class if you're not doing it. And the other thing is help your classmate. If you see the person sitting next to you is struggling to understand this math problem and you understand it, ask your teachers if you can help that person and help them. And then you can ask your teachers for help before or after class. Talk to them, get them to know you better, because if you do that, they will talk about you, and then they will write a strong recommendation letters in which they will talk about how strong of a student you are. And the last thing for your portfolio is SAT or ACT. So these are standardized tests that a lot of colleges ask you to take. And it's not a test that you just wake up one day and go take. You have to study for it. And there is a program, there's a website called Khan Academy for those who don't know. I would say go and visit that website. They have examples of different SAT tests or ACT, or even if you're taking a math or whatever regions that you're taking, if your school is doing a regions exam program. So Khan Academy should be your best friend. So you should utilize it and learn all the different skills that you need. And some schools also offer a SAT or ACT program. I would say start joining that program no later than the first semester of your 10th grade, because SAT requires a lot of preparation. And it's a lot of study, and a lot of schools now they have a specific requirement for the specific requirement for you to have for the ACT or SAT, and if you don't have that, they won't accept you. And so that leads me to my second point, which is the different types of colleges that exist in New York State. So there are two schools. There are schools that are looking at you by using academic metrics. And academic metrics meaning your GPA, your SAT or ACT score. And there are schools that do a holistic approach. And a holistic approach is that the school is still looking at your GPA and SAT or ACT score, but then they also look at you as a person. There's a more individualized assessment on your assessing of your application. So they look at your recommendation letters, your personal essay talking about a struggle or something that you have overcame. And they also look at your recommendation letters, your resume, and a lot of different things. All right. So in New York State, there are three types of schools. There is a CUNY, schools that are in the CUNY system. So CUNY is City University of New York, and it's a public university system that has a lot of different colleges, four-year colleges and community colleges. And we also have SUNY. SUNY is a system, it's the same thing as the CUNY, but these schools are in New York State. And we have private schools such as Barnard, Columbia, and the private schools can be in New York State or they can be outside of New York State. Like my case, I went to a private school in Massachusetts, not in New York. So CUNY has 12 four-year colleges, and these four-year colleges ask you to have a specific GPA and a specific SAT in order for them to accept you. And if you don't have that, they do have support programs that I will talk about later. There are 12 four-year colleges, and then at least there's one college in each borough. And we have Baruch, we have Hunter, we have City College, we have Queens College, Brooklyn College, so on and so forth. And there are community colleges. So community colleges, you don't need to have a specific GPA or an SAT. It's schools that you can go in order to get your associate degree, but they also have the option of you to come in as a student and take at least 24 credit within a course of a year, and then transfer into a four-year colleges. And the mistake that a lot of people think is like, if you go to a community college, then you're wasting your time because you're doing 2 years here and then you're going to a 4-year and doing another 4-year. That's not the case. So whatever number of credits you have at a community college, when you go to a 4-year college, you just need to continue to obtain the 60-something college credit requirement in order for you to graduate with your bachelor degree. And for SUNY, we have 64 campuses around New York State, and it's a combination of universities and university colleges. So for universities, we have well-known schools as Albany, Binghamton, University of Buffalo, and Stony Brook. And then for university colleges, we have New Paltz, Brockport, Oswego, and Geneseo, and the list goes on. And for private schools, we have Columbia, which is not far from here. We have Barnard, and there is Skidmore, which is in upstate New York, and we have Smith College, which is in Massachusetts, and Columbia, and Cornell. Yes, and NYU. Thank you. Fordham. Yes, there's a lot of private schools we have in New York State. In New York City too. So CUNY, like I said earlier, is a system that looks at academic metrics. So you need to have a specific GPA and a specific SAT in order to get into a CUNY school. But there are two admission profiles in the CUNY system. So there is a general admission profile and a support program admission profile, and they call it SEEK. So I will take the example of Hunter College, for instance. So Hunter, for the general admission requirement, you need to have an average of 89 and an SAT score of 1208. If you don't have that, they look at you in the support program, which is the SEEK program. And SEEK, you can have an average of 86 GPA and a 1090 for the SAT. But the thing is, now, especially, they started it last year, but it's reinforced this year. So schools don't just look at your overall SAT score in order to accept you. Now they do what we call a sub-score. So although you have a 1090, I would say, for the SAT, Hunter can reject your application or deny you admission because you have 700 on your math and then maybe 500 on your English. So for the benchmark, you need to exceed the benchmark in order for them to accept you for the opportunity program or for the general admission. And for the benchmark, you need to have a 570 on the SAT and the 520 for the reading based, for the evidence writing and reading. So SUNY and privates are the schools that look at a holistic approach, like I mentioned earlier. So this is, like I will stress this again, that you need to start getting yourself familiarized with your school in order to take advantage of the different programs that exist there. Talk to your teachers in order to, for them to write a good recommendation letters for you, and start reviewing for the SAT or ACT no later than your 10th grade. And all these schools have what I mentioned earlier as they have a support program, and this support program are usually program for people who live in a low-income family. So it's a financial aid. It's a need-based program. So for CUNY, we have a need-based program called SEEK, and then for SUNYs, we have EOP, which is Educational Opportunity Program. For private schools in New York State, we have HEOP, Higher Educational Opportunity Program. And these programs, they help. So first of all, it's good because they don't look at they don't look at your GPA and your SAT in a higher standard, so you can fall short from the general requirement. But not only that, they offer support. They offer support while you're in college, and the support can be in a form of tutoring, mentoring, and some of them, like C, for instance, in New York City, they give students Metro card, or if some schools don't give you Metro card, but they give you the money to buy the Metro card, which is wonderful because monthly Metro card is extremely expensive. And with these programs, like I said earlier, it's incumbent upon financial aid, so it's based on your status. So you have to be a citizen, a permanent resident, what's the other thing? A refugee or asylee in order to qualify for them. And so to talk about financial aid, so there are two types of financial aid. There is a merit-based financial aid or scholarship, and a need-based financial aid. For need-based, like the term indicates, you have to need it, meaning that you're from a low-income family and your family really cannot afford your tuition and the fees that goes with it, and the fee that go with it. So for need-based, I would list, first thing is FAFSA, which is a federal financial aid. So anyone who lives in the United States, no matter where in the United States you live, you qualify for FAFSA if you are a citizen, a permanent resident, or a refugee or an asylee with an alien number. And there is also a state financial aid such as TAP. And TAP is only granted for students who leave and will go to school in New York State. So for my case, like I said earlier, I went to school in Massachusetts, so I didn't get TAP because although I lived in New York City or New York State, I did not go to school here, so you lose that money. So that's why when you think about applying for college, think about that. Like if you get out of state, you might lose that money unless the school gives you a strong financial aid package that will accommodate for that. And the other thing is there's an institutional aid. So each school will give you, especially private schools or SUNYs, they will give you money if they really like you, like additional money based on your financial aid, based on your financial need, in order for you to come to their school. And there is another grant called SEOG, and it's for people who are in extremely needy situation. And then you can only get it when you apply early. And so all these type of aids that I just listed are grants that you get to pay the school. As long as you're a full-time, that you take at least 12 credit and you maintain the GPA of 2.0. That's the only requirement they ask you. And if you have those, you don't have to repay for this money. And then we have merit-based scholarship. So merit, again, like the term indicates, it's something that you have to deserve. So they only give merit-based scholarship for people who have a higher GPA than their classmates, or you have a higher SAT score or ACT score, or you have an athletic talent or an artistic talent. That's when they give you this merit-based scholarship. And the schools can offer them to you, or you can also apply. There are a lot of private scholarships out there. Just talk to your guidance counselors or people you know, your sisters or your brothers, who already passed this system to tell you. There are a lot of scholarships that you can apply for, although it's competitive. If you believe you have the portfolio, I would say go and apply for it. Don't let anyone tell you that, oh no, you don't have the portfolio, so please don't apply. If you believe you can do it, I would say go for it. And the last thing about financial aid is loans. So loan is also a form of financial aid, because there are two types of loan. There's a subsidized loan and an unsubsidized loan. So subsidized loan are loans that you take, but you don't get interest while you're in school, and there is a grace period of 6 months when you graduate from college in order for the government to ask you to pay for the loan with the interest. And there's another loan which is unsubsidized loan. So unsubsidized loan, it's not need-based, so that you can get it no matter whether you need it or not. But that loan has a higher interest, and there is interest the minute you start taking, you sign up for that loan. So I would advise all students to not go for unsubsidized loan, because most of the time students graduate from college broke, or they have like a long time to pay for their loans, which is like a thing that you should not do. So the last thing I will talk about is about choosing your colleges. So the question they asked last time was how to choose your college. So I would say apply as many colleges as you want. So make sure that you apply early. To Queenies, if you want to get out of New York State, if you want to get out of New York City, apply to SUNYs. If you want to go to a different state, apply for private schools or even private schools in New York. And then once you receive all the acceptance letters from these scholarships, I would say talk to your parents. They need to be involved with your education. We have, like at my job, I have so many instances where students last minute cannot afford the school that they decided that they want to go to, and they did not tell their parents, and it's a lot of things that we have to deal with. So I would say the minute you start your application process, or the minute you are thinking about starting your application process, talk to your parents about it, tell them what your choices are, and if they want, they can schedule an appointment and go and speak to your college advisors or your guidance counselors, if they are the ones who are taking care of your application, in order to understand what the process is, what it takes, like how they need to support you. And so when you receive your acceptance letters, I would say talk to your parents and your guidance counselors as to which school is best for me. Because the school that you believe is best for you might not be the right school for you. So I would say go to each school and visit. If you can, spend the night there and see whether this school is the right fit for you. And I'm talking from personal experience. The school I said was my first choice. When I visited the school and spent the night there, they have a weekend for accepted students. I did not like it. So I came back, and I was so glad that I visited and made that decision to not go to that school. So visit the school. Check your financial aid package. I would say go with the school that has that gave you the most money. And if one school gave you the most money and then the other school didn't, but that was your first choice schools, and that's the school that has the program you want to study, it has everything that you're looking for a school, you can do what we call a bargaining. So you can email, so your college advisors will talk to you about that. Or if they don't know, tell them please to email the school and say, okay, listen, Farmer is a good student, and I'm using here as an example. Farmer is a good student, and this school, like Smith College, gave her $50,000, but she doesn't want to go there. She wants to go to NYU, but you only gave her $40,000. Can you increase the financial aid package so she can go to your school? And a lot of schools are very competitive when it comes to that. If they see that this is a great student and it will maybe this student will become the next president of the United States, they will make sure that they give you the money that you need in order to come to their school. So yes, that's what you call bargaining, and most of the time it works. Schools can give you up to $10,000 for a scholarship in order for you to come to their school. So what was the thing? Okay, so parent, this is the advice for a parent. I don't know, should I say it in Wolof?
Say it in Wolof.
Maybe I would say in Wolof. So to parents yëpp laay waxal xam nga dëkk bi dafa metti te ñun ñëpp ñu ngi fi yor ay doom yore famille ak yor yëpp war a toppatoo suñu bopp te parents yi bari surtout parents africains du ñu toppatoo suñu éducation donc comme ni mu ko waree léegi xale yi dañuy am parent teacher conference du ñu dem donc duñu xam seen doom la nekkee si école bi xale yi dañuy def seen college application bay waaj a pare te parents yi duñ ci participer léegi en tant que parent xam naa da ngeen di viser ak yëpp mais dëkk bi dëkk opportunité la opportunité yi bari na pour sa doom soo ko jàppalee rek dina mën a comment dirais-je réussir si lu bari donc surtout xale bi bu nekkee xale nii dek encouragé muy jàng def ca moom habitude muy dem librairie bi di jëli ay book di lire parce que loolu yëpp dina ko help surtout bu demee su demee comment dirais-je high school pour waaj a dem college léegi boo demee ba xale bi mi ngi xam ne mi ngi nekk high school nga make sure ne yaa ngi gisanteek ak advisor parce que xale yi dañuy def lu leen neex seen ginnaaw sans pour autant wax parents yi lan moo xew dañuy ñëw décider ne oh man NYU laa bëgg a dem ñun college advisor yi lu ñu mën rek moom mooy wax la ne la école bi lii la application di quoi lii mooy li nga war a def léegi comme defal li nga war a def daal léegi dinañ la conseiller et tout mais nekkul ñun ñooy jël décision pour wax la ne fii nga war a dem waroo dem fii léegi en tant que parent fekkee na nag bokkoo xamul sa it doom def léegi xale bi ab collège boobu kese lay léppam def si apply lépp ba last minute nag parent bi si lay doog a yegg ne ah naka te sama doom apply na li te man xaalis bi aw ma ko pour fay ka te xale bi amul scholarship pour fay école bi yëpp léegi nga jaaxle sa doom fu muy mujjee mooy ay community college yàgg fa parce que dafa dem parce que neex ko léegi bu demee day dootul amati motivation pour jàng lu bari di ci xew léegi moo tax deneen waxtaan ak seen doom yi di leen conseiller et tout parfois xale yi dañuy dëgër bopp mais boo naxtaan ak ñoom rek dinañ la déggal nga wax ak ñoom wax leen collège yi li moo si parce que collège nekkul juste nga am grade beeg yooyu mais xaalis bi tamit si la te comme ñun ñëpp ay émigré lañ fii amuñu xaalis bi pour fay yenn collège yi donc waxtaanal ak say doom et tout di leen encourager pour ñu dem pour ñu jàng bu baax pour ñu apply si ay scholarship ak yooyu. Léegi one last thing balaa may tëj mooy the Excelsior, this is for the students, the Excelsior scholarship. So a lot of people heard of this scholarship that CUNY said is free. They say, oh my God, CUNY has a new free education. But the thing is, it's not free. And SUNYs, it's not free. No. So Excelsior is not a free scholarship like they publicize it. Even the mayor, all of the governor of New York, they all publicize it as a free scholarship. It's not. So you can only get it if your family makes a lot of money and then there is a gap in your tuition. So let's say you go to a CUNY school and then you receive full financial aid, meaning full FAFSA, full TAP. So CUNY, if you go to a 4-year school, the tuition is about $7,000. And you can receive TAP. FAFSA is $5,925 right now, and TAP is $5,115. I think around that. So if you go to CUNY, there is money left that you can use to buy your books and to do other things. So in that case, if you apply for the Excelsior scholarship, they won't give it to you because you don't need it. If you go to SUNY, and SUNY gives you, you receive FAFSA, you receive TAP, and the school gave you money, but there is still a gap. So they will calculate the gap if it falls. So if you use your FAFSA and your TAP and it covers the tuition of that school, you won't get the scholarship. It doesn't matter whether there is a gap on your room and board or fees, you won't get that scholarship. You only can get it if there is a gap on your tuition. And in order for you to qualify, like I said, you need to at least take 30 college credits a year. So you can take 12, and then during the summer or in the spring to complete, or you take 15 credits in each semester, and it's a contract that you have to sign in order to get that scholarship. So please don't be fooled, especially for those of you who are graduating this year or who are in college. Do not sign that Excelsior scholarship unless you read the fine print of what this scholarship is talking about. So it's a contract that lets you sign, and there is an agreement between you and the New York State government that if you get the scholarship, you have to stay in New York State and live here and work here for the course of the number of years that you got the scholarship. Let's say you started getting that scholarship in your first year and you continue getting it until you graduate, meaning in your senior year, so that's 4 years. So when you graduate from college and there is a job that was being offered in California, you can't move there. You have to stay in New York State and work until 4 years. Or if you go to California because you like that job, there's a job at Google and it's your dream job, you need to go there, then that scholarship becomes a loan that you have to pay with interest. So please be careful when it comes to that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very nice presentation. Guys, hope you got